Training. We have a great interview for you today. We have the one and only basketball star and legend from Oakland Technical High School, um, Earl Tex Hawkins. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey, I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man, it's been really nice to meet with you at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
watch you get your award. Um,
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. How did that feel after all these years?
It was fun because I was telling my son that I was nervous,
Yeah,
and I had never been nervous when I was playing. So it was like it was amazing for my kids to experience that, and my grandson was there. Of course, he was young; he probably won't know till he get older.
yeah,
But for them to be there, and two of my nephews and my brother that was next to me, he was there, and two cousins. So then, of course, the head coach was there.
yeah,
Dory McGavin was there, and then I had one of my teammates, Chris Perrine, he was there. But it was nice. It was nice. Yeah.
yeah. It was a great event just to see all of you legends in one place,
Mhm.
and see all of your family there with you, supporting you.
And to see my buddy Noah.
Yeah, yeah, Noah Hingston, he's everywhere.
Yeah, my boy Noah.
Well,
Yeah.
how did you guys meet?
Well, I actually ran cross country also.
Oh,
And
okay.
and I ran cross country because I wanted to build up my endurance so when I played basketball, I wouldn't get tired.
Mm,
So I kind of, and I enjoyed running, cross country with him because, he pushed me, and so it helped me. And Chris ran cross country with us.
okay.
And so we ran cross country to build up our endurance. And, and,
Yeah.
and, and that's why. And Noah was running cross country.
He an absolute legend in cross country. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, I
Exactly.
mean, needless to say, how much of that training directly affected your success on the court?
Oh, it affected it. It affected it because it made me stronger.
Yeah.
And well, believe it or not, I would play the whole game.
Mm,
And I had that endurance because of all the running we would do. Uh, Head coach being, the cross country coach also. So,
got it.
he helped a little bit, and he always pushed us, to do the best we can, you know. So
Yeah.
it helped a lot. It helped a lot. But
Yeah.
I wasn't one to, lift a lot of weights when I was in high school.
Mm,
I was like 100, maybe 175 pounds, but I was strong,
hmm
and so it just helped me because the kind of offense and defense that we ran, you had to have quickness.
mm,
So that kind of helped us, in the running and so forth. Yeah.
yeah. Did you have a favorite play, um, or a go-to move?
Go get to the basket.
Get to the score 2 points.
was that was about it. I
Yeah.
mean, I love going to the basket because I knew when I went to the basket, I would get fouled, and they didn't want to put me on the free throw line because I'm not missing. Because
hmm Well,
you know,
well, how did you get to Oakland Tech? What was that story?
I got to Oakland Tech because I went to Claremont High School. I mean, Claremont Junior High School,
hmm
and Oakland Tech wasn't far from where I stayed because I stayed on 48th Street.
Okay,
So, and Oakland Tech was on Grove at the time, so it was walking distance.
got it.
And so that's how I got to Tech because I knew I was going there. Wasn't no other school close by to where I live at.
Yeah,
And so, and then when I got there, because most of the guys already knew me because I played in basketball at Claremont.
mm,
Most of the guys knew me when I went there because they see me playing basketball at Claremont.
got it.
Uh, and so I was pretty much spotted on the playground by one of the seniors that was playing varsity,
Okay.
and he saw me playing, and he was like, "Hey, you want to try out for the team?" And I was like, "Oh, sure," So I ended up playing JV 1 year, and then that next year, played varsity because Claremont went to the ninth grade.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so now I'm a 10th grader. I could have played varsity in the 10th grade,
Hmm.
but the coach was like, hey, we need him on this team.
Yeah. Are you was that a good decision for you at the time to play JV versus going straight to varsity?
I mean, I think I could have played varsity if the head coach wanted me to play varsity. I think I could have competed with them guys because
Hmm.
not to be conceited, but I think I was better than some of them.
Okay.
you
Okay.
know, but because we would scrimmage varsity team, we would scrimmage them, and so I was trying to give them the business.
As you should.
Yeah, so and for the coach to want me to play on the varsity at 10th grade, so I knew I had some going, you know.
Yeah. Did
And
you? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
no, go ahead.
When did you get your height?
I had my height. I was tall in junior high school. I
Mm,
mean, I was about the tallest in my junior high school. My parents was tall.
okay.
My mother was like 5'11", and my dad is like, well, at that time he looked like he was about 6'4", but but I got my height from my parents, and my grandfather was tall too.
I got it.
Yeah, so I pretty much got my height from them.
Yeah.
Uh, and after high school, I never grew. I thought I was going to be at least 6'4", 6'5", but
Hmm.
that didn't happen. But if you look at my cousins now, you would think I'm about 6'9".
Okay. Okay.
It's every,
So,
you know,
so,
and the brothers, they weren't tall like I was.
mm,
Yeah, but one of my brothers actually played football for Tech. Also, his name Carlos Hawkins. He
okay.
actually he actually played football for Tech.
What year?
Um, oh shoot. Um, it might have been in like the 2000 something.
Okay.
Um, because he's like 50. I think he's like 56 now.
Okay. Got it.
So yeah, so they say he was a pretty good player. See, I was in college then when he was, doing this thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't get to see him, play. But they said he was doing what he was doing.
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about some of your early accomplishments in basketball.
Um. Well, most of them started in high school. Because I made first team all of Northern California. I made first team All East Bay,
Hmm.
team All AL, first team All City. Um. Pretty much all of them. But the sad thing about it wasn't like a team thing. It was just individual,
I
and
see.
I wanted that team atmosphere. But one of our best players had quit the team, so it was pretty much kind of hard on me. Because now everybody is just drilling on me now, you know,
Hmm.
so it's kind of tough. But yeah, it was just making all those things and playing hard and everything. 'Cause one time one of my friends was playing junior college ball, and I went to the game. This was in San Francisco,
Okay.
and me and one of the guys he had kept, took me up there, and we was watching them play, and we was coming in, and there was a lady. She was like looking at me, and I'm looking at her like I don't know her. And she was like, are you Earl Hawkins? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, now I'm curious because I don't know how this lady know me, because I don't know her. And come to find out, my picture was in the San Francisco Chronicle, and I didn't know it.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and that's how she knew me. And I ended
Yeah.
up getting that picture, and I was driving to the basket when they took that picture.
What game was that?
It was Balboa.
Oh, Balboa. Okay.
Yeah, he was playing Balboa. Matter of fact, it might have been against Brian Shaw because Brian Shaw went to Balboa
Okay.
because I
Yeah.
played against Brian Shaw.
Was he a tough competitor at that time?
Yeah, well, Brian Shaw played point guard,
Mm-hmm.
and I played forward.
Got it.
But he was tough though. He
Yeah.
was tough. He was tough. But yeah, it was just Balboa. Yeah.
How's that relationship? Do you guys still talk at all and talk about those times?
No, actually, when Brian Shaw was trying out for the Lakers, we had exhibition games here in Bakersfield, and
Okay.
Brian Shaw was trying for the Lakers, and they was playing Miami Heat, which was Alonzo Mourning's team, and
Yeah.
I was working at that stadium at the time, and I seen Brian Shaw, and it was amazing that he remembered me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was like, and we just kind of talked, and I was like, "Hey, keep it up, get it, do it, and
Yes, sir.
you see what happens.
Yeah.
We got about 3 championships,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then I know Kevin Johnson. I met Kevin Johnson because when we all got out of Northern California, I met him in it was Santa Clara is when they had the award ceremony.
Okay.
I met Kevin Johnson. I never did get a chance to play against him because he was in Sacramento,
Right.
and so I didn't get a chance to play against him. But you see how he turned out to be a good player, and then I had another one of my teammates from Claremont. He was Gary Payton's teammate at Skyline,
Okay.
and he ended up making it to the league. He ended up growing to be 6'10".
Who what's his name?
Greg Foster.
Oh yeah.
We call him Bowie.
Yeah. Bowie. Why is that?
We call him Bowie. So yeah, he was my teammate at Claremont. So him and Gary, because I know Gary Payton too, because Gary was playing JV when I was playing varsity.
Got it.
Yeah, so he
It's
ended up Gary Payton ended up playing with Suge Josh Lowry. This is
mhm.
my teammate. He was a freshman when I was a senior.
Okay. Got
So
it. Got it.
he got inducted 2 years ago in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
it. Got
Yeah.
it.
That was my running buddy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can kind of share any stories?
yeah, try to teach him the ropes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did pretty good because he became a good player. He became a good player. Yeah.
Yes. It sounds like you were surrounded by so many awesome players.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Chris Perrine, he ended up going to Chapman. I ended up playing against him,
okay.
and he actually got a picture in the game with me and him on it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
So I sent that picture to the coach. I was like, "Hey, here's two of your players that you coach playing against each other."
Yeah. It
So,
doesn't get
and
no better than that, huh?
yeah, and then my best friend, we supposed to be going to Panola in Texas playing with each other, but he ended up deciding to go to another school. So we ended up playing against each other.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's from Texas too. Yeah.
Well, out of all of these competitions and great players that you played with, is
Mhm.
any one of the victories sweeter than the rest?
Oh yeah, it was. I can remember one game where we played Fremont, and Greg Attaway
Hmm.
was really my competition, really,
Okay.
because they was like the newspaper was all on him, you
Hmm.
know. And so when they came to Tech, it was a second game of the OAL, and I had a tremendous game. I had 36 points, but I didn't know that. And so one of the football players came up to the reporter and it's like, hey, you need to interview him. You need to interview him. And I'm like, I don't know what he's about, you
Yeah.
know. He's
Yeah.
like, he scored, I don't know how he did it. He's like, he scored 36 points and this and this. I was like, what the heck? You know, so
Yeah.
after that game, I think it was like, okay, this guy, he can play, you know.
Yeah.
But Greg and them, they already knew that because we used to play summer league,
Okay. Yep.
you know, and everybody in the OAL, we played in the summer league. So they already knew, you know. And Greg Attaway was a good player too. Him and Henry Turner was on that team too. And I
Mm.
ended up playing with Henry Turner. He went to Fullerton.
Yeah.
So so I ended up playing against him and Richard Morton. He was another good player from the Bay. You know, I ended up playing against them guys. So yeah, that was one of my big games. And then we ended up playing Mac at Laney College
Mm.
because they was undefeated, we was undefeated, 2-0, and we ended up playing against each other at Laney, and they beat us.
Okay.
Uh, and then from that point on, it was like, and then when my teammate quit the team,
Yeah.
and it was like it was downhill after that. You know, it was sad. It was sad. I mean, it was like we was on that track, and then once he quit, it's like okay, now they focusing on me, so now I gotta have players, teammates to help out. You know, you guys was young. Mr. Josh was freshman, but Chris was a junior, and then you had Randy. Them guys was, you know, they was juniors, you know, but it just wasn't the same, you know.
Yeah.
But I had to do what I had to do, you
Yeah.
know.
So would you
Uh,
call yourself more or less a mentor of all of these guys at that point?
yeah, I wasn't much of a talker, you know. I just pretty much let my game do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I figured if they watch me how I played, 'cause I played hard every game, practice hard every game. And if they watch that and see that, then should, you know, take them to, you know, that next level. And it did because when I left, Mac would tell me, "Oh, these guys, they was doing this and this." And matter of fact, I think they won the OAL that year.
Wow.
Yeah, I think they won the OAL that year, and they went against Castlemont, which Castlemont had a good team. They had one guy, the center, Cotton. I think he ended up making it to the NFL for football because
Mm.
he had that type of body, you
Yep.
know. But yeah, they ended up winning the OAL, and Mac was telling me all this, and I was like, "What was that at when I was playing?" You know, I didn't understand it, you know, and then I got it, and I was like, okay, they was just letting me do what I do, and then the next year, you know, they it was their turn.
Yeah.
It was their
Yeah.
turn. So
Respect.
yeah, so I was like, I can't understood it then, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What does the OAL mean to you personally?
Oh, competition,
Yeah.
competition. Every game, you
Yeah.
know, you got to bring your best every game, or you would get embarrassed. You gotta bring your best, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you look at, you know, the other leagues, I don't think they compare to the OAL.
Mm.
You know, because they knew when even teams on the outside when they come play either one of us, Tech, Mac, Castlemont, Fremont, Castlemont, any other teams, Skyline, they gonna have to bring their game,
Yeah.
you know, or they gonna get embarrassed.
Right.
You know, and so but it was special. It was
Yeah.
special. I mean, you know, it brings the best out of you.
Yeah.
And everybody, you know, it was great players coming out that conference. You know.
Would you attribute that high level of competitiveness to Oakland itself?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because Oakland itself is competitive. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like you got to get it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you want to get it, you got to work hard.
Yep.
You know, you might have to make some sacrifices.
Yep.
You know, but you got to work hard.
Yeah.
Or you gonna get left behind.
Right.
You
Right.
know, so you gonna have to bring it every day. You know, because I mean, I would walk around with basketball in my hand every day.
Yeah.
You know, and of course, bush ride was my gym. Bush ride was my gym. I look, I say that the bush ride was my gym.
Okay.
That's where I would go and play
Yeah.
in home fields and everything because it wasn't that far from my house.
Hmm.
So I drove with my dog all the way to the gym and drove all the way back. And I wouldn't leave until it closes.
Yeah.
At black. That's when I left, you know, and we would have tournaments there and stuff like that. And, you know, so it was a great atmosphere, you know.
What developed your love for basketball?
Wanted to wanted to make it to the NBA.
Okay.
Because I've seen like Dr. J and Maurice Cheeks and all these guys and Sidney Moncrief. 'Cause my coach told me that my game was patterned after Sidney Moncrief.
Mm,
He was undersized, but he had a big heart,
yeah.
you know. And so that was my goal and to make it to the NBA. And, you know, like every little child, you know, they dream, you know, to take care of the family and whatever, you know, and that was my dream, you know, to make it into the NBA. And then I end up in high school. I ended up meeting Purvis Short,
Okay.
play with Golden State Warriors. You
Yeah.
know, McGavitt was was his friend. So
Okay.
I ended up seeing my first NBA game because he got us tickets to watch them when they played the Lakers.
Wow.
And we was 5 rows from the floor sitting next to his wife, right? So when these guys come out, right, I'm looking and I looked at Mac, I said, I need to grow. Cause you know Purvis Short like 6'9", 260, and he played guard,
Yep.
you know, and then of course and then Magic coming out, and I'm like, I
Oh,
see why they get out of his way, you know, and then here comes Kareem. It's like, wow, you know, it's like I'm short compared to them.
yeah.
You know, knowing, look, you gonna play point guard, you ain't gonna be playing nothing else.
Right. Right.
You know, so I was just taking of watching that, and then Purvis knew that that was my dream.
Mm,
I didn't even know that he had got that ticket for me to go, me and coach to go and watch him play. You
that's
know,
special.
yeah, it was special. I was like, man, I like because he had to do that. You
Yeah.
know, he had to do that, but I think he gave me an opportunity to see what it could be like.
Yeah.
You know, and he gave me that opportunity, and I thanked him for it. You know, and because he would come to the gym and shoot around with us.
Okay.
And then Wolfie Perry, I got to tell this story. Wolfie Perry, which played at Tech, he got you know in the Hall of Fame.
Hmm.
He was on the White Shadow, the show. He brought that whole cast to Tech. I
What?
met, I met that whole cast from Tech. Yep, at Tech. Yep, yep.
Wow.
He brought all of them. Because Coolidge was the center. He could have made the pros, but I think he had got hurt.
Okay.
But he brought that whole cast to Tech, and I met all of them. Yeah,
That's
and then you probably don't know this, then you might know this. The movie, The Principal, with
yeah.
John Belushi. Okay,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
that was done. That was done at Tech.
I did
On,
not know that.
yeah, that movie was done at Tech on Grove. Cause you know I didn't go to school on Broadway. I went
Oh,
to Tech on Grove.
yeah. Okay.
So we was the last class to graduate from Grove, and then that's when they moved to Broadway.
Wow.
So you go by there now, you wouldn't even think that high school was there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That's
That's
what we
okay.
went. Yeah, that's where we went. 2 years until they got ready to move into the other building on
Hmm.
Broadway. We
Hmm.
would still play our games on Broadway.
Okay.
Before it's like, and then we would have certain classes like wood shop and mechanics would be on Broadway,
Got
you
it.
know. But other than that, the other classes would be on Grove. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Thank you for that. That's wow.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. That's the legacy that they don't even know about.
yeah. Yeah.
They don't even know. They don't even know about that.
No. No,
You
they
know,
don't.
because look, when it rained real hard, we had to go to in the gym.
Yeah.
We ain't had no hallway.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What um what was college life like?
Oh my goodness. I got a story for that too. Like at one point when my coach started giving me the letters and all that kind of stuff, and I was like deciding what I wanted to do, he ended up knowing, I guess, a coach in San Diego
Okay.
that knew the coach in Texas. So
Okay.
he knew I was from Texas, so it would make it easier, for me to go to Texas. So we ended up going to visit. I didn't know where the school was.
Hmm.
I just knew it was in Texas.
Yeah.
So me and my teammate, we ended up going to visit. There. It was like maybe 30 miles from Shreveport, Louisiana. So it was on the border.
Okay.
Okay, East Texas. Panola was a school. Now, mind you, it was D1 junior college.
Okay.
So it's national.
Yeah.
So my freshman year, we did pretty good, and it was something new.
Yep.
It was something new. You had to elevate your game because you're gonna get embarrassed, you
Hmm.
know, because these are better players.
Well, you're used to that.
You're right, and then that conference itself was like the OAL,
Mm.
because you had some Texas Junior College and Oklahoma Junior College is out of this world.
Mm.
You know, is out of this world. So my experience my freshman year was like trying to get, fit in, and get to, move around and see what's going on. But I had a pretty good year. The team had a pretty good year. But my sophomore year, oh my goodness. Now, remember when I said in high school we didn't win as a team? We won some games. Now, mind you, we wasn't like 0-10 or whatever. We won some games. Matter of fact, let me back up. When Berkeley High had their first tournament, we won it.
Okay.
We won the tournament.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the only tournament we won, right? So fast forward, my sophomore year at Panola, most of the guys came back. So we had about 7 new guys on our team. Okay. And then so we ended up ranked fifth in the nation. We ended up winning the first conference championship in the school history.
Okay.
We went 28-4. We lost in the playoffs by 1 point to a fourth-place team that we beat twice.
Oh.
And look, and we didn't just beat them; we blew them out. But the game was at their gym, and it was like we was tied up with 6 seconds left. They had the ball, right? They threw the ball in. My roommate, my teammate fouls the guy. I was like, "What are you doing?" So he fouls the guy, right? So he goes to the free throw line, makes the first one. Of course, he missed the second one. I get the rebound, and I threw it to my teammate at half court, and he shot and missed it. We lost, right? But before that, the second place team had lost before we did.
Okay.
They lost before we did. Now the guy that was on their team was Gerald Patio. Used
Okay.
to he went to UNLV.
Mm-hmm.
He played with Stacey Augmon now.
Mm-hmm.
So my teammate finally he told me that he ended up making to the NBA and he played like maybe 5 years or so. Now
Yeah.
he's 6'8",
Yep.
6'8", and he a shooter.
Yeah.
That was right
He
down
had
their
a
alley
cold.
at UNLV.
Stacey Allman had a cold shot.
Exactly. So we ended up winning all the tournaments that we was in. We went to Pensacola, Florida. We went to matter of fact, we went to New Orleans and played in the tournament. One tournament, they didn't give us our stuff because the team we played always win the tournament, right?
So they were already ready to give it to somebody else.
Exactly. So when we beat them, they was like, we ain't getting them nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And then our coach told us, he's like, hey, y'all win this tournament, we'll let y'all go to Bourbon Street. What? What? Look, they ain't said nothing. So we of course we on the winter tournament. We went to Bourbon Street. I was like, wow. I was like, okay. So in that tournament, we continued on to Pensacola, Florida.
Okay.
We was driving and in our van and stuff. So we ended up winning that tournament. And so by this time we was like way up there because we started out like 15-0.
Mm-hmm.
Started out 15-0. We ended up
Oh.
losing the last game before Christmas break.
Mm.
We was 15-1. So we ended up losing to Gerald Patty. They the one beat us in
Okay.
their gym. They the one beat us. So we was like, okay, we gonna remember that, So
Mm-hmm.
it was almost like we was looking forward to Christmas break,
Yep.
you know. And then so we only lost 2 games in the conference.
Okay.
We only lost 2 games. And then Gerald and them, they ended up going 13-3, and we went 14-2. So
Okay.
it came down to the last game of the conference to see who was going to win the championship, the conference championship. So we ended up winning our game on the road. So once we won our game on the road, it didn't matter what they did
Right.
because we was already ahead of them. So when we beat them, we beat a team, Angelina, which they hadn't beat in Angelina since 1978.
Ooh.
1978, they had never beat them. And so
Wow.
we broke that barrier, you
There you
know.
go.
So
Wow.
so my days at Panola was like, if that was a 4-year school, I would have stayed.
Yeah.
I would have stayed. But and then um in high school, I met a coach with Shasta Junior College.
Okay.
Okay, they had just won the state championship, right? So me and my teammate, we visit them first because we was at the game, and 2 of their guys was leaving, so that's when we was gonna go there.
Mm-hmm.
And the coach decided he got an offer in Bakersfield. Look, I don't know what Bakersfield at.
Right. Right.
You know? So, but he kept in touch with me the 2 years that I was in Texas.
Okay.
He would call, check on see how I'm doing, this and this and this. So I was like, okay, keeping in touch, this and this and that. So when I get ready to leave, my coach, he never told us that, coaches are watching us, to talk to us. Didn't hear nothing. I was
Yeah.
like, "Man, I ain't gonna be in limbo, you know.
Right.
And this coach sent me the letter, like, hey, full ride.
Mm.
What you want me to do?
Right. For
Yeah,
free.
and look, and then coming back to California.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was like, hey, signed it, send it back. My coach was mad. I was like, hey, I'm looking out for me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, my career is over here. Now I gotta see what's out there, right?
Right.
And then my other team, one of my other teammates ended up going to Eastern, I think it's Eastern Arkansas. So
Okay.
he ended up playing against Scottie Pippen.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
ended up against Scottie Pippen. And so and then after that, I come to Bakersfield. I end up getting hurt
Mm.
before school start.
Oh
I tore my ACL.
no.
Yeah, I tore my ACL. So now I gotta sit out a whole year, right? So now I come back the next year, I'm not the same
Yeah.
because I played above the rim
Yeah.
when I was in Texas, so now I gotta change my whole game.
Yeah.
And I gotta become a shooter like Curry.
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So I had to play my whole game. So I played. I had to wear this big old brace on my leg. So now it's your mobility is messed up. And then at that time they didn't know how to take care of ACL tear
Mm-hmm.
because Bernard King tore his ACL the same time I did.
Oh, okay.
And they tried to rush Bernard King back, and he
Yeah.
got hurt again, and that's when he retired
Yeah.
after that. And so now you tear your ACL, shoot, you can come back in about 6 weeks, 6 months,
Yep.
because they know how to treat it. They know how to do it now,
It made major advances in that perspective.
Right, right. So I ended up playing, excuse me, ended up playing the next year. Did all right considering I came back from that injury. Um, I one game I had 6 threes in a game.
Okay.
Uh, but then then somebody broke that record, but that was a standard at that time because that's when they got the 3-point line in the
Okay.
80s. That's when they got the 3-point line. Because we didn't have a 3-point line until they got that in. That's when I came back from the injury.
Right.
So that whole time, that's what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
shooting long distance,
Yep.
but did it in high school too. So it wasn't nothing new.
Right.
Excuse me. But after that, then I didn't play my senior year because the coach that I had tried to get his own players. So
Yeah.
they got a new coach after that. And so I didn't play. And then when I went to go home, but I graduated, of course. I graduated from there. Um, and then when I went home, I got a phone call asking me that, do you want to play in Portugal?
Okay.
And I said, that's when I had one more year. And I said, I got one more year of school. I said, if you guys want me after that, then I come, right?
Right.
But my teammate from Texas, he was already over there.
Okay.
So he was already over there. So I guess that's how that link came in because of him. Right? So since I didn't go, one of my other teammates went.
Mm-hmm.
And so of course I knew they weren't going to call me back after that. So
Right.
I first of all, my mother wanted me to graduate from college,
Yep. Get
and
that.
I wanted my family to graduate from college.
Okay.
You know, so my decision that I made, I don't regret it. Because I've been hurt before. So
Mm-hmm.
if I went over there and got hurt again, then it's like, ooh, I don't have my degree, and now
Yep.
I'm like, ooh, I'm in limbo right now. So,
Right.
and then he went over there, did pretty good and everything. He played like 5 years over there, and
Okay.
they expected him to do everything and all that kind of stuff. And I asked him, I said, so how was it? He was like, oh, it was good. But then when he came back, he kind of struggled a bit because he
Yeah.
had his degree.
Yeah.
But doing that, he doing well now because he works, for the oil company.
Okay.
He's doing well because I keep in touch with most of them. You know,
Yeah.
one of my teammates is a lawyer. One is a songwriter. He played overseas, and in fact, cousins. Used to play for the Warriors.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my teammate's son.
Oh, DeMarcus Cousins?
Yeah, that's my teammate's son.
Wow.
And then look at this, Sacramento, Trey Lyles.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my other teammate's son. Yeah, that's my other teammate's son. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's my other teammate's son. Yep. Matter of fact, his daddy sung the national anthem when he played at Utah. His daddy sung the national anthem.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's a recording artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've been in my job 38 years now.
Yeah.
And then I coach sports, all sports.
Hmm.
It's like a school program and stuff. And
Okay.
uh, one of my students play for the Jets right now. Dennis Reed.
Okay.
Yeah, he played for the Jets right now. And then I just had another student just played. They just lost in the playoff basketball. He go to BHS, play basketball. He'll be a senior next year. And then I had one go to BC, which is the football, is the junior college here.
Hmm.
He was on the national championship team, you know.
Wow. So
Yeah,
you're
so
just passing on the legendary
oh yeah, oh
status and the greatness, paying it forward.
yeah, oh yeah. So
Yeah.
that's what I do at the school. I teach the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You know, I can see when I see the talent, I teach them the fundamentals. So once they get the fundamentals, they can go a long way. You
Hmm.
know. So and basically some of them, figure to that level. It was probably about three of them I think that made it to the NFL.
Yeah.
And they became cornerbacks.
Okay.
They
Just
became
athletic.
cornerbacks. So it's like wow.
Yeah. Well, that's
So yeah,
awesome to see you be able to
yeah,
give back and
yeah,
and train up the kids and for kids to understand what valuable knowledge they're able to get from
oh yeah,
you.
oh yeah,
Um, it's been
yeah,
such a good process talking to you and learning about you.
yeah,
And you're a wealth of information.
yeah. And then too, I teach the kids also, like, I'm in the elementary, but I teach them like, hey, if you don't get that grade, you will not be playing.
Yes, sir.
And I tell them that in elementary school. I said, look, when you go to junior high school, college, you don't get the grade, you're not gonna be playing. I don't care how good you're not gonna be playing.
Yeah.
So and then I got three kids that play sports. My oldest son played ball, wrestled. He was good at both of them. My youngest son, he played football, soccer,
Hmm.
won a championship in soccer. He was
Hmm.
state champion.
Okay.
Then my daughter did lacrosse.
Wow.
Yeah, so the gene passed on a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah, passed on a little bit. And then my oldest son got his master's. My daughter got her degree. She graduated from East Bay.
Okay. Yeah.
And then my son, he graduated from Fresno State. Then he got his master's at what's that school? Oh my goodness. It's up north, way up north. Golly, can't think of the name of the school up there. It's way past San Francisco. It's up there.
Like
Can't think of
Chico.
it. But anyway,
Uh,
then my youngest one, he's about to graduate, get his degree. So yeah, so education is important.
it's just greatness all through your genes and you
Yeah,
know everyone who comes in contact with you, it sounds like, gets a
yeah,
little bit of that greatness rubbed off on them.
yeah. Hey, I try to pass it. I try to pass it because I had some people for me.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, I had a good coach in high school that taught me that work hard, and everything else fall into place.
What coach was
You
that?
Hidori
There we go.
McGarrett,
Yeah.
pass that on, like, hey, work hard, everything else take care, And then too, I realized that other coaches, see it too,
Mm-hmm.
because you're playing against them.
Mm-hmm.
They see it too, So I some great players, great players, you know, great players. And then I knew about Jason Kidd. I
Yeah.
knew about Jason Kidd, when he was in high school. And then this other guy, Pillar,
Mm-hmm.
that from Oakland. He went to Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Oakland they birthed some great
Oh yeah.
players. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
some not just great players, legendary players, staples.
Right. And I can't leave without mentioning Ricky Henderson.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Ricky Henderson, because he used to get us tickets to come watch him play at the A's games and stuff.
Man, that's amazing.
He would come to Bush Ride and play basketball with us and stuff. That's when I realized he was left-handed, but he bent right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Ricky
Woo.
Henderson. Yeah. In
Man.
fact, him and Wilfred Perry is in my yearbook.
Okay.
Yeah, they in my yearbook because it was homecoming when they was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Wow.
was man. I don't regret it. I had good years, and it taught me a lot. Because
Mhm.
when you lose, it teaches you something. It builds the character.
Yeah,
And you
for
just
sure.
work a little harder. You know, because you can only do what you can do.
Hmm.
You just hope your teammates can either follow you or exceed you.
Yeah.
So yeah, so but,
Well, we're coming up on time here. I want to thank you for coming in and telling us more about you and talking to the people here
oh
of
yeah,
Athletic Conceptual Training.
oh
Um,
yeah.
it's been amazing, and we're gonna have to have you come back and detail some of those stories. You've got so many.
Oh, don't hey, no, yeah, I can come back. I can
Yeah.
come back.
Mhm.
There's some stories I left out, like growing up in South Dallas.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wow.
South Dallas,
Well,
boy, hey, South Dallas is tough.
we'll definitely have to get you back for a part two.
Yeah, South Dallas is tough down there, boy. Ooh, my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, yeah. So,
Well, listen, thank you again. Shout out Oakland Tech, um,
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
OAL,
Oh, shout
Oakland,
out to
period.
them, and hope they can get it in tomorrow when they play tomorrow.
There you go. There
Yeah,
you
hope they can
go.
get it in. They got two more, and then hey, they can get rung up again.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know, defending champs. That's what we want.
That's what we
That's
want. Yep.
what we want.
Well, thank
So
you.
yeah,
This has been a great segment.
yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, subscribe to athleticconceptualtraining.com. Check us out on YouTube to get this interview and more. Thank you,
yeah.
Mr. Hawkins, for coming in.
Man, I appreciate you having me on, man. But I had a lot of nicknames. I'm gonna tell you one more nickname I had.
Okay.
In Texas they call me Hawk.
Yeah. Yeah. I
They call me Hawk in Texas. They call me Hawk. I got so many
okay.
nicknames.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
Well,
appreciate you having me on, though.
yes,
Appreciate it.
sir.
Yeah,
We'll talk
appreciate it.
soon, okay?
All right, appreciate you.
All right. Thanks so much.
All right, take care. All right.